The lance in Monster Hunter Wilds feels completely different, and I think it got even better. It now flows in between offense and defense almost seamlessly, and it's all thanks to these new moves that it got. Of course, I'm talking about the new follow-ups you can do after a counter, especially the new retribution thrust. At its core, the lance is already very different, going from 3-poke combos to now 4-poke combos that loop into each other. You can do a mid-thrust combo by pressing triangle 4 times and it ends with this new triple thrust finisher. Press circle 4 times and you get 3 high thrusts before finishing with a counter thrust. You can press and hold the final input to keep blocking in this stance, and if a monster hits you, you will block it and follow up with a counter attack. You can actually mix and match all the different button inputs available to you to make your own combos. If there's a small distance between you and the monster, you can actually start by pressing triangle plus circle for a leaping thrust, a perfect gap closer move. Then you can also mix in a wide sweep in between the combos for more damage. Just pay attention to the 4th button that you press, because this will determine whether you'll end up with a triple thrust finisher or a counter thrust. After the 4th button press, you don't actually have to perform a dodge reset anymore to loop the combo. You can just continue mashing the triangle or circle button to loop the combos again. Combo-wise, the lance is very simple. Yes, it's not as flashy as the other weapons, but that's cause the true appeal of the lance lies in its big counterattacks. Now, we already know about the 4th poke counter thrust combo ender, a great move to counter monster attacks by the way, but that's not the only way to use the counter thrust. You can also press R2 plus circle anytime, even in between combos, to perform this counter thrust. If the monster hits you while you're simply pressing and holding this stance, you will counter the attack with just a single poke. And that's not the best way to use the counter thrust. What you want to do is to let go of the button just before the monster hits you. Sounds pretty crazy, I know, but if you do this right, you will counter the attack with a double counter thrust. Now the timing will feel a bit weird at first because you have to be holding the stance for quite a bit even before the monster attacks to pull this off. So you're not supposed to be reacting to the monster's attack, you're supposed to predict the next attack the monster will use. You have to preemptively press and hold the counter thrust. So it has a completely different approach to what we lance mains are used to. Instead of pressing R2 plus circle reactively, this time we now have to reactively let go of the button. But that's not to say the reactive lance playstyle is dead. It's still here in Monster Hunter Wilds, but in a different form. This time, we have to use perfect guards. In between combos, you can press R2 to guard, and after successfully guarding attacks, you now get a series of follow-ups to choose from. You can press triangle for a quick poke, or you can press R2 plus triangle with a directional input to perform a guard dash. Perfect if you need to reposition. But if you press circle, you get the payback thrust. And if you press triangle plus circle, you get the new retribution thrust. This is where the lance truly unlocks its potential. These two follow-up attacks have good damage. The only difference is that the payback thrust does a bit lesser damage but recovers faster. The new retribution thrust deals the most damage but recovers pretty slow. So make sure if you do a retribution thrust, you have the opening, or else you'll get punished hard if you use this move at the wrong time. Use these two moves after a perfect guard and your attack will have a red glow and it'll deal more damage. So try to go for perfect guards as much as possible. But that's not all. After performing these two guard follow-up attacks, you can follow them up with more powerful attacks. Pressing triangle after a payback thrust or a retribution thrust will follow up with the triple thrust finisher that you're only supposed to get as a combo ender. This is the perfect follow-up if the monster is staggered or you have a huge opening. It's also worth noting that you can interrupt this move with a guard, so it's pretty safe. You can also press triangle plus circle to perform the dash attack if the monster gets too far away. But if you want to reposition safely, you can press R2 plus triangle with a directional button to perform a guard dash. If you press circle, you will follow up with the counter thrust, the perfect follow-up move if you think the monster will attack. Just make sure you got the timing down. Doing a retribution thrust and following up with a counter thrust is one of my favorite things to do with the lance. It's just a lot of fun, but also very punishable if you get the timing wrong. So if you're not confident, you can always chicken out of the counter thrust by cancelling it by pressing R2 plus X to perform a power guard. This will block attacks from all directions, so you'll be safe. Just take note that Power Guard uses up your stamina, so watch out for that. Power Guard is an awesome move, but to use it, you first have to be in the counter thrust stance and then press R2 plus X to go into Power Guard. Out of the Power Guard stance, you also have access to the Payback Thrust and the Retribution Thrust follow-up attacks. These new follow-ups and new sequences allow the lance to dance with the monster, balancing offense and defense. And I think these new changes made a huge difference to the lance's gameplay, making it more dynamic. It's not just about poke, counter, rinse and repeat this time. Combo-wise, the lance has never been that complicated, but your choice of which counters and which follow-ups to do is what truly matters. You might cart here and there as you learn which follow-up is the right one to do, but that's part of the fun of using the lance. Monster Hunter Wilds is still pretty fresh, so if I missed anything, let me know in the comments. But that's it for now. This has been Pow from Power Place, and if you want more Lance content, then be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.